Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the next tutorial video here on Duct Tape Creations. So in this tutorial I'm showing you how to make a Duct Tape PSP case, so it's going to be pretty cool. So now this tutorial was requested by two people. The first one to request this was Grace, so I really appreciate that. And the second one to request this was Xerus Gaming. If I'm not pronouncing that right, I apologize. So yeah, really appreciate these requests. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. Alright, so making a Duct Tape PSP case is pretty simple. So all you're going to really need to know is the measurements of your PSP. So depending on what model you have, the measurements will either be smaller or bigger. So for instance, if you have the PSP Go, the measurements are obviously going to be smaller than a basic PSP. So the one I'm using today for this tutorial is the PSP Slim. So the measurements for the PSP Slim are just in length a little under 7 inches and in width just a little under 3 inches. So when making the sheet, you're just going to cut out the strips of tape. You're going to need 4 of them in total. I just want to mention that. So you're going to cut these out to be 7 inches in length, which is a little bit longer than the PSP itself, and then stick them together to a sheet that is 3 inches in width or 3 inches tall, which is a little bit bigger than the PSP itself, which is what you want. So start off here. You're going to take your first strip and flip it over. And now this is going to be the same for every PSP you have, just the measurements are going to be different, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so now you're going to stick the second one right on top of that, covering up all the sticky side. So now you have this double-sided strip of tape, just like this. Okay, so now you're going to take your third strip, and you're going to stick this down right to 3 inches. So that's pretty simple. So just like that. So we're just basically making a sheet of duct tape that you'd use to make a basic wallet. But instead of sealing them up together like you would a wallet, we're going to do it a little bit differently. Alright, so now we're going to take your final strip and just cover up the rest of the sticky side, and that's your first sheet. So there we go, pretty simple. So now once you have your first sheet done, you're going to make an exact duplicate of this, and I already have mine ready. So you're going to have 2 in total, and that is just going to be, you're going to pretty much sandwich the PSP right between that, as you can see. So now, with the measurements, you can see that the duct tape is just a little bit longer than the PSP in length and width. So that's how you want it. So like I said, get the measurements for your model PSP, whether it be the PSP Go or another model. I'm not sure of all the models of PSPs, so if you have a different one than the Slim, just get the measurements and then make the sheets to the desired length and everything. So that's pretty much it for this part of the tutorial. So finish making your second sheet and then we can move on to the next part of the tutorial. Alright, so now that you've finished your 2 sheets for the case, we can move on to sealing up the bottoms and the sides. So to do that is pretty simple. You're just going to need 3 strips of tape that are 7 inches long, and take 2 of those and stick them together so you have this double-sided tape just like this. And cut out 1 strip of tape that is 6 inches long. You want to cut that in half so you have two strips that are 3 inches long, and then you're going to cut that in half long ways so you have these little strips that are 1 inch in width. Pretty simple. So once you're going to have 4 of these small strips in total, and then you're going to have 1 extra strip just here, which you're also going to take this one and cut right down the center, just like this. So you have 2 1 inch width strips that are 7 inches long. Alright, so now you're going to take your double-sided strip here, and you're also going to want to cut this one in half, just like this. Okay, pretty simple. So now you're going to have these 2 strips right here. So now you're going to take one of these and come in 3 inches and cut it right there, and these are going to be used for the side. Okay, so now you have this one left here. This is a little over 3 inches. So just going to trim off about 1 inch off of it, and then you're going to have now you're going to have these 2 small strips that are 3 inches long, and 1 strip that is 7 inches long. So that's pretty cool. You don't waste too much tape doing it this way, which is always nice. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these strips here, and take your bottom strip, and you're going to stick half of it right on there, just like this. And just seal it down. So you have this bit of sticky side showing on the one side of it, as you can see there. Now you're going to take your second strip here and do the same thing on the other side. So just stick it down halfway and seal it down. So you have these sticky bars, these bars of sticky side right here on both sides of it, and 1 solid piece in the center. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 piece of your case, and you're just going to stick it down right like that. Just leaving a little bit of sticky side showing so it can fold a little bit easier. So pretty basic. Now do the same thing on the other side. So just like that. And then there's the bottom of your PSP case, and the PSP should fit right inside there, just like that. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So once you have that done, we can do the sides now. So the sides are pretty much the same thing. Take one of your strips here and stick it down right like that, and do the same thing on the other side, just like this. Pretty basic, and you come up with the same thing, just a little bit smaller. 2 bars of sticky side and just the bar in the center. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one more time here for you guys. So just stick it right down here, halfway onto the strip, just like that, and then do the same thing on the other side. So there we go. Seal it down, and then that's pretty much, these are all you need for the sides of the case. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your sheet here and stick it down just like this. Once again, leaving a little bit of sticky side showing so this can fold over easily. So now you're going to bring this over and fold it together just like this. Oh, that's going to catch there. Let me take that off. Okay, so we're just going to fold this in just like that, as you can see. Line it up and fold this over just like that, sealing it up. So now both sides are sealed together, and now you have one side shut down. So that's pretty cool. Now there's going to be this little bit of a hole right here at the bottom. You can just take a small strip of tape and just seal that up. That's pretty simple to fix. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just take it and line this up right there from top to bottom. And try and make sure you have a little bit of sticky side showing when you just reline that here. Oh. And make sure that doesn't happen at the bottom comes undone if you mess up on that part. That can cause things to get misaligned. So sorry about that. Alright, so just going to line this up here again. There we go. And then you're going to do the same thing you did on this side, just fold it over, line it up, and peel the rest over. So there we go. So now you just have a basic box. It's really simple. And now the PSP will slide right in there with a little bit of extra wiggle room. You can make these a little bit skinnier here on the side so it's tighter against the PSP. That's up to you. So that's pretty much it for this part of the case. And it's a little boxy, but that's alright. So like I said, you can make this slimmer so it's really tight up against the PSP so it just slides right in there and stays tight together. That's also an option. So now once you have this part done, we can move on to putting the flap over. I'm also going to show you how to add game holders to this. So that's going to be really cool. So finish sticking all this stuff together and then we can move on. Alright, so now you have the first part of your PSP case done, which is just the pouch for the system itself. We can move on to making the flap that goes over the top, which is what we're going to do right here. So to make that really simple, you're just going to cut out 4 more strips of tape that are 7 inches long, stick them together to a sheet of tape that is 3.5 inches in width, and when you're sticking together, leave this bar of sticky side right here at the top, so you can fold this over and get a nice smooth border line right at the top, so that will look really nice and clean. So just like that, just fold it over, and there we go. So now that part's optional, you can just leave it flat off like you did these strips here, or you can round it off like I did here, and to give it that nice little border line. So that's pretty cool. So this is 7 inches by 3.5 inches. That's all you're going to need for the flap. So now you're going to cut out 1 more strip of tape that's 7 inches long, and cut that in half so you just have 1 strip of tape that is 1 inch in width. And you're just going to stick this right on the bottom here, just like that, sealing it down right there, and having this bar of sticky side. So now you're going to bring over your case. I'm going to take the PSP out real quick. So bring over your case, and you're just going to lay this down right on top of that sticky side. So just like that, just like you did for the sides and bottom of the case, leaving a little bit of sticky side so it can fold over. And then there we go. So that's pretty much your case, pretty simple. So it looks really nice once it's all folded over like that. So now you can make this a little bit longer if you want, so it covers the entire length of this. So if you want to do that, you're going to need 2 more strips of tape, so instead of 4, you're going to need 6. So that's pretty simple to do. And just going to extend it just a little bit, sorry, tongue tie. You're just going to extend the sheet just a little bit more so it goes all the way down to the bottom of this. So that's pretty simple as well. So that's pretty much your duct tape PSP case here. You can stop here if you want. But next I'm going to show you how to make the game holders for this, which is pretty simple. And then after that, the tutorial is going to pretty much be over. So let's move on to that. Alright, so to make the game holders for the case, it's pretty simple. All you're going to need for this is to cut out 4 strips of tape that are 3 inches long. So I already have the small sheet here. So you're going to take those 4 strips that you cut out that are 3 inches long and stick them together to make a sheet of tape that is 2 1/4 inches tall, which is just a little bit smaller than the actual game itself. So as you can see there, it's just a little bit bigger. Or sorry, the sheet is just a little bit smaller and the game is just a little bit bigger than the sheet. That's what you want. Okay, so now you're going to cut out these other small little strips of tape. These are 2 1/4 inches long, which belong to the side of the sheet, and you're just going to stick those down just like that. And you're going to do the same thing for the bottom as well, but with 3 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to seal up the sides there, and now the bottom. Okay, so that's really simple. So that's basically your game case right there, kind of like a mini card holder. Alright, so I added some velcro to the case itself so it stays shut, just with these bands that wrap around to the back. So that's pretty nice. I'm just trying to open these here real quick. Okay. Oh man, that's some strong velcro. Alright, so now you can see it just opens up with these bands right here. Now these bands are optional, you can just either just stick it right here to the bottom, but I'll show you why I didn't do that for a second, because I'm going to show you an optional extra to add to the case, if you want to later on. Alright, so now you're going to take this piece here, your game case, or your game holder, sorry, and you're just going to stick this right down onto the case, just like that. Seal everything over, and there we go. So now you can just take your game, and just open this up just a little bit and slide it right in. It's good and tight, will should stay in there, and there we go. The game will stay right in there. You can just take it out with ease. So that's really nice. So you can have 2, you should be able to fit 2 right here in the front of this case. So now I'll show you the reason why I added these bands instead of just putting the velcro right onto here. It's because I'm going to add an optional extra little panel to this thing. So if you've seen my DS case tutorial, I added one of these little things to add more game holders onto it. So that's pretty much going to be the same thing for this. So you're just going to pretty much stick this right to the bottom of the case. Let me remove the game and PSP so I can do that easily. Okay, so just going to take the case here that you have and just stick it right down onto the bottom of that and sealing it up. And then that will fold right over there to the top of the case and everything seals together. So now you can put 2 more game holders right here on this side as well as 2 more on here. So you can fit 6 in total. So 6 games will fit on this case if you add this optional little panel. And to make this, all you need is just 4 strips of tape, stick them together to make a sheet of tape that is 3 inches in width. Just like you did for these first sheets to make the case. And then one extra strip that is 7 inches long to stick right on the bottom. So really easy. And you can add, like I said, a few more game holders onto this, and that's pretty much your case. So it's a really nice creation to make if you want an easy way to hold your PSP around and carry it different places. So that's really cool. So yeah, so there's your case. Really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And once again, a huge thank you to Grace and Zyrus Gaming. And once again, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but really appreciate these requests nonetheless. It's always nice to get them. So if you guys have any ideas for requests for like a tutorial or time lapse, let me know down in the comments below. I'll see what I can do for you. So that's gonna be really cool. And then on coming up this Monday, I have 2 requested time lapses coming up. They're both gonna be for Minecraft YouTubers. One for Tobuscus, which is gonna be really cool, and then the other one is for someone else I haven't heard of yet. Or I've seen a little bit of him from Sky and everybody, but I haven't really heard of him. So I can't remember how to pronounce his name. But that'll be up also on Monday, so look out for those 2 time lapses. Those are going to be really cool, really fun. So yeah, so that's going to wrap up this tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed this. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and as I always say, just enjoy the wonder that is duct tape.